Welcome, RPG Limit Break fans, to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Tournament 2025 qualifying race 8, featuring Jesus the Frog, Softnum, Space Drake, and Solario Rex. My name is Davian Hawk. With me in the booth today is Lord Fizzlebeef, with our restreamer pulling tracker double duties Mechlin, and his cohort on tracking Kumo. Lord Fizzlebeef, what are we looking at with these parties and blurstings?
Well, we got us a semi-forest and a semi-choice flag set, although the choices are not all chosen up front. Now, we have a forced black belt. Everybody's forced black belt. This is the only way you can get black belt in this flag set is if it's forced. We got one. And we have a forced red mage, so everybody's got to be stuck with those. Now, after that, we have a nun, which we can replace with tavern mode later on, and we have our choice of mage, and it looks like the universal pick here is the black mage. So a lot of black belt, red, nun, black to start, but that could change when we see some of the taverns coming up in the seed.
All the options they have for picking up magic, we've seen several races so far where it's been find the first recruit, reset, redo the party, just based on what options the magic early on might have. Mm-hmm. Those red mages are great with the bonus luck they have, helps with the run chances, not having a thief at the front of the party, but they also are limited on their magic selection. So if something rolls in those two first level white slots a red mage can't get, you might want to reset and pick a white mage.
Nonsense. We've got thief swords. We've got plus 10 luck on the red mage, so that red mage is going to run as good as a thief. And everybody's black mage gets plus 20 bonus health, which is not super, but like it could be worse. Honestly, I'm a fan of just kind of rolling the dice, and if the first two slots of Canaria have, I don't know, like Harm 4 or something in them, let's see what Provoca's got. Maybe Provoca's got everything that we've ever wanted.
It's always a mixed bag, and of course, as you mentioned, the recruiting, that nun is the only spot they will be able to recruit to, and they cannot recruit over a previously selected character, so they've got a three-man party to start with. They might pick up a fourth, or they might not. If they're stuck with that black belt as their primary melee option, they might keep the member party to focus more experience on it.
We have a little bit of telegraphing going on. Softnum and Space Drake are leaving their nun slot as just punctuation. Softnum, I feel like, is committed to the three-man. Space Drake is probably going to play it as it lies. If we get something spicy in the first couple shops, we might see Space Drake go to four-man. Jesus the Frog, I've no idea. Could go either way. Solario Rex put down fighter ? And that pretty well telegraphs the class that we're looking for. Here in Canaria,
that is a red mage.
But that's not a fighter, so we're skipping it. And what have we gotten? Heal 3 and heal 2. Heal 3.
The heal 3 is red mage learnable, so no incentive to get a white mage. And lit 3, so you've got a starting sweeper on both the black and the white mages or red mage. That's huge.
Yep, I'm really liking black belt, red black right here.
We're going to look at the armor shop and weapon shop. Every weapon and piece of armor is rolled +4 or +5, so there is absolutely no inherently bad gear available to these runners.
It's a case of good or gooder.
Weirdly enough, the plus thief weapons on that black belt could come in handy. But having 2 lit 3 casts proves very effective, so Jesus the Frog monsters their way through Garland, gets the item from the king, that's some TNT, and the princess has our canal.
Okay, so in terms of what we need to progress, we really don't have that many map edit options on. We have extended progression, or we have open progression, sorry, but if we're gonna leave this general area of the inner sea, we're gonna need a ship or a canoe. Canal is great. Canal's going to point us somewhere else later, but right now we need a boat or we need a tiny boat.
We do have extended open progression, so they can run all the way down to Elfland from here.
Oh, they can. Okay.
But they don't have the canoe, so they can't make it anywhere else.
Gotcha. And Softnum picking up in the lower left box, shards. It's a shard hunt. Exactly 24 shards are needed. Get your counting fingers out.
Yes, the all of the incentive items and their incentive locations, which are pretty well all random, are marked in those X chests. So you will find your incentive items and your shards in X boxes, and they all have encounters that are relative location to where they are. So you will get an ice encounter in ice, and so on and so forth.
It is worth noting that those trapped encounters will be the B side of whatever that native zone is, and sometimes you'll find trapped boxes in something like Matoya's Cave. What is the native zone for Matoya's Cave? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Apparently outside Crescent. That's level 2 nuke and fire 3 and fast. Oh my word, is level 2 black magic stacked. Having 2 black casters, truly a blessing for Solaria Rex and, well, all of our runners at this point on stream. Pirates are about to be eliminated with a vengeance, and Ruse is me.
Ruse is fine. It might come up. Grabbing an extra red mage might have really paid off to have the 3 nuke casters.
So, Softnum just found that the imps and Gurimps are disturbing and very lethal. I saw
what
Bane.
Do the Grimps have? Ooh.
So,
we're not going to like Earth Cave later.
And we have a bottle for relatively cheap, so that's our shop item already taken care of in Provoca. The experience and gold bonuses are based off of shards and orbs lit. 8 shards or an orb lit is 25% bonus. Given the scaling of the enemies and bosses, it's not the most critical thing to have more shards before taking any sort of grind, but it always helps. And the pirates had the ship, so I mean, that's vanilla enough.
All right, we got a boat, we got a canal. Let's leave the inner sea. We got not much else to do here. No, wait a minute. We're going to turn into TNT before we leave.
Not much reason to go to Elfland at this point. We already have the incentive item purchased from the shop. They've already got good... hello. A loose Masa plus 4.
Masa plus 4 that early, depending on how much our runners today are committed to the black belt play, some people might skip over that, especially with the early vendor item purchase. There's not a whole lot left that we want to buy.
I mean, stopping at stores for anything other than some solid armor at this point is basically all you can imagine. That and of course potions. We get the crown out the TNT, so this is a good proximity play to see what the Garland's got, and it is the chime. So we will not see a chime bonk, unfortunately. One of the many flags introduced only about a year ago now was the shuffling of the chime lock location.
Yep. It's one of those where half the time it becomes very notable because there's now a location you want to get into that you can't, and the other half of the time you get chime 5 seconds in and we'll never know what was chime locked.
I think just in these qualifying races I've seen both Elf Cave and Matoya's chime locked, so it can happen pretty early.
Did you meet the blacksmith? Jesus talking to a random dwarf. It wasn't the hooray dwarf, but I decided to put in the effort anyway.
Wrong target, wrong hug. We got some high-fiving, Space Drake landing as Solaria Rex getting our first runner out of the inner sea. You gotta imagine at this point, gonna go to Crescent. We don't have the canoe, so you can't take the Ordeal's dive. You don't have the ruby or the rod, so there's no point in going to the Melmancon in general.
All roads seem to lead to Crescent, yeah.
Can we get another vanilla navigation item from these sages and get our canoe?
Canoe would be a spicy pick here because that that'll take us to either Volcano or Ordeals. And with this party, like I'm really liking the early Volcano dive, but if we hit something just a bit too big for us, it could be real bad.
Yeah, especially since the incentive item, we have one in each of our primary fiend dungeons, and the Volcano Deep has been selected, so that incentive item is either going to be in the Dragon Box, or on Carrie's floor, or on the Agama floor, and that is, I believe...
It's a ruby.
Okay.
Yep. Geode, one of the many not ruby-based stones that the Titan will munch on if prompted.
I wonder if it cracks it open and gives you one half and eats the other. You have something nice to decorate.
He cracks it open and it's like a piñata. All the candy goes on the ground, and while he's on the ground trying to pick up all the candy, you just go right past him.
Ah, rock candy. You know, that's a good one too, but it's a bit long for the game. And anyway, that actually sends them right back to the Melman continent because the Titan's Trove is enabled. That's one incentive there, as well as Sarda. So, bouncing back and forth as this game is wont to do, randomized or otherwise.
Now, we're headed towards Titan Sarda. What are we hoping to pick up? Because at this point, we're really kind of out of options. Like, Canoe is probably going to be one of them. But if it's not one of them, what do we think we're going to get over here?
Well,
T-Rod?
Chat's got the call. You really want to see the Canoe or the floater, especially since we have the airboat flag enabled. So once they get the floater, they have to just pop in the ship and they can take to the skies. Otherwise, yeah, proximity rod would not go amiss.
Solario skipping the Titans boxes. Gonna check on Sarda first.
We missed that, I believe, before, but we saw exit at level 6, and that's an adamant, so relatively a proximity item, but not straight progression. I did notice, or I did not catch what the character recruit option was in Crescent, but evidently not something Space Drake wanted.
The only one I've caught so far was the one in Canaria.
Level 4 coming up big. Fade for white and warp for black. And that is our Oxyale, so that's access to the Sea Shrine once we get access to the Onrak continent. So, Adamant is our progression, Jane.
Softnum has acquired a 4th character.
That is a thief.
That's a thief?
Yep, plus 20 strength thief that has a Masa plus 4 to swing from level 1. I think that'll work.
Gotcha. So Softnum now going all in on no black belt strats.
Normally, with the alternate character sprites, we would require that runners name their party members after the character class, which Softnum did for all those other than the recruited characters. So, but at least we have that info. We're going to see Solario go in and check out what that adamant turns into. It is our progression chain at this point. Could be the key. Yeah. End up going to Canary Castle, check some lock chests. It is the rod, so we're going deep Earth.
Finally, a dungeon item that we can use.
I mean, if somehow... I mean, it can't be Earth into... Well, it would have to be Earth into some other chain or Earth into progression as general, so... We can't clear the entire Melman continent and get the slab.
No, at this point, I think we've successfully... Is Canaria incentivized?
Yes, Canaria Lock is incentivized. So it's random, just like everything else, but...
So, from there... This could be Herb, Crystal, Key, Canoe. I I think that's all we've got left.
Yep, pretty much. The key could be incredibly valuable because outside of Sofnum, who we see picked up that thief, they will need a key to unlock the doors in Mermaids, plus the door into Topher. So,
Solario doing a tile check here on the first floor of Earth. The first tile in the Hall of Giants, ambushed by 9 bad men. And then the Earth tile was just garbage undead.
it's a bad thing. Gonna check these boxes. Honestly, at this point with this party, yeah, not even gonna bother to check the other chest down on level 1. Just gonna dive deep.
Yeah, we got a Mazza. We're on black belt strats. We got to find our tile, and our tile's not going to be in a box.
Definitely gonna check the 3-pack here. No, actually gonna pick some things up, get in a good amount of gold, which could make a difference. But as we said earlier, outside of checking for some like good gold bracelets, there's not much reason to check into gear anymore. Space Drake picking up the item from Sarda as Jesus is going into the check-in for the Adamant, and the Oxale's picked up. We're seeing that whole Melman chain being chased down by everyone else on stream as Solario is onto the vampire floor. Just like all the other dungeons, or incentivized dungeons, it is deep, so Rod Locked is where our item will be on the next floor.
Solario's still opening boxes because we're still looking for shards, so... But we're just taking the easy ones. We're not taking any of the boxes that are really kind of far out of our way. Earthcave is a great dungeon for skipping terrible boxes that are not in your path.
There's a reason why that far right chest on this floor is known as a TFC Earth. You never remember it because it's just so out of the way.
I always remember it. I live in fear of it.
Like me and Cece's. Either way, Rod has been popped, the blue smudge has been dealt with. Solario gonna check if it's in the armory or if it's down in Lich's bedroom at the bottom left of this floor. If you get the item here, would you bother checking those 3 chests?
No.
Yeah.
Because they're far enough out of the way and there's enough unkindness in this encounter table. Could there be shards there? I guess. Could there be a ribbon down there? I guess. But, like, I'm more... With the Mazza in hand, like, it's not that much more that I want out of boxes, I think. Especially if I'm on the black belt train.
Yeah, and that is our herb, so there's no need for that item, or those chests to be checked to get that incentive item. With these levels and with this magic, I mean, you've got Newt cast, you've got a Moss on a black belt. You could take on Lich at this point. And you said the nastiness of the encounters. We have vanilla touch effects, so those encounters that would normally just insta-death you, they can do that, even if they don't have their normal scripts.
Truly desperate are those who find themselves in Ice Cave in this flag set, because the amount of stun and everything that's in there, sleep touch from mummies, stone touch from something in there, death touch from the sorcerers. And then we have to figure out what scripts landed in there. That's a Hail Mary to end all Hail Marys in there.
If you're that desperate for shards, because of course Ice Cave and Marsh are being skipped. That's true. Grind Tile or Search. But those are both non-incentivized in this flag set.
Sofnum attempting to power through the 9 bad men tile. It's not going well. Let's pretend we didn't do that.
That was a bad idea.
Solario Rex has found the Scourge of Earthcave, the mighty Lich, most fearsome of undead magic casters, truly the first boss of the game, absolutely unassailable, and it's dead.
Who knew nuclear radiated fire could annihilate magical undead beings. But I mean, Lich is gonna throw that right back at at Celerio Rex and all of our runners' faces potentially, because another flag we've got that's vanilla-ish. Our final fiend fights are gonna have their stock spell scripts.
Yeah, Lich 2 is officially back to not a joke. Turn 1 nuke is... but even with vanilla scripts on Lich 1, like... I joke, but I've killed Lich with Ice 3 before. Like, you can... anything, pretty much anything, you can push your way through that fight.
We've seen multiple times the solution to Lich having nuke is just kill Lich before Lich has a chance to go.
Mm-hmm.
Celerio Rex stopping in at Melman, checking some magic, gonna go ahead and take the outer dock, it looks like, to get to Elfland, because unless you get the key and have to go into to Canaria to check another item, you're more than likely going somewhere outside the Inner Sea.
Ooh. Space Drake took a peek inside of the Earth 2 tiled room and saw 2 of the boxes. Now, those 2 boxes were not marked, but we had thoughts, and we decided to take a look at what that top box was, and that top box was unmarked, therefore unsharded, and Space Drake has moved on from the room.
Space Drake,
hate that check.
I mean, it's 3 relatively quick boxes to check. It's not unreasonable, especially if you want to get those shards early. But Space Drake did check the bottom right room on Earth 1 and found a katana. So if Space Drake ever goes back to Elfland, might consider going and picking up that thief and having the thief master. But not really the most straightforward play, I'd say. Meanwhile, Jesus the Frog on the Lich floor as Softnum is dealing with some very annoying undead.
Stun touch, not even once.
And no life magic. Oh, nope, Life 2 is at level 3 and has charges, so that gets the job done. We have Life 1 and Life 2 in battle as well, so excellent utility. Well, there's a good way of spending your money. Pro Rings rolling 5,500 for sale in Elfland.
Gimme.
So much for the insta-death stuff. For the most part.
The spell-based stuff, anyway, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's protection from the Grimps.
It is not, unfortunately. Bane is poison element.
Not
and the expert anyway.
Oof, that is a horrible tile to see in Earth. That is a 4 red dragon tile.
If we had more horsepower, I would like it to take some party levels. As a black belt grind, yeah, nah, hard pass.
If you got 3 nuke casters on your party, maybe. Right now, Softnum has a face-down thief at the front of the party, so...
So, Celerio Rex, our canoed runner on stream, weighed the options of Ordeals versus Volcano. We find ourselves in Volcano. Between the 2 options, I like this one more. We've got more tiles to check, we've got more boxes to find shards in, and we have way fewer sorcerers with Death Touch to deal with.
Yes, but evidently we have sentries on a trap tile, and they did very bad things with lightning magic.
That's fine. We don't need any of those tiles. We can just not step on any of them. We're good to go.
Yarp. And we get a quick check. We have no hairpin chests, at least no primary hairpins.
We got a couple in Armory so far. That was 2 so far. Top hairpins. Looks like nope, because we didn't double back. Total of 2 out of Armory. That's a bit of a womp womp, but... Are we going to check the tile to see if it's a fun one? We're going to move some item magic around just in case this is a farmable tile. Red Mage gets a nice sword because why not? On the tile, it's a Chimera. It's... bleh. Like, Could you, if you were desperate? I guess. There's way better tiles out there. And it's guarding a ribbon. So the list of things we really need to find in unmarked boxes is, I think, down to 0 now.
Yeah, I mean, short of having any of the other ribbons for any of your characters, because it is just the Masa and the ribbons that you could imagine. We've got the defense sword, the power bonk; those are in the incentive pool.
Meanwhile, Jesus the Frog says no to Volcano, is now in Ordeals, making the way through the Pillar Maze. One of these two dungeons is going to lead us towards Floater. I will be interested to see which one is correct.
So, I missed it, but did Jesus just one-shot it by going Pillar 4 first?
I also missed it, but given the length of time that we've had Canoe, I think you might be right.
That was crazy.
Styles up here, what do we got? Tigers, nah. Crit is a real thing. Say no to Saber Tease.
Puncture damage, no joke.
Nothing notable out of those boxes. What do we got down here? I mean, yes, we have a Thor hammer, but like...
Normally I'd like a pack of whiz mummies if you had more whiz mummies and nuclear fire to annihilate them with, but that's a box, and won't be seeing that again, hopefully.
Also, Sleep Touch is real and a thing.
Yeah, and there's your crystal, so we're going right back to Matoya's.
Whether this is a win or not, yet to be determined. Second ribbon picked up by Celerio Rex over on the Agama floor.
2 ribbons in Volcano.
Uh-oh. Red alert. Down goes Red Mage. Can we make it out? The only way out is through. Nuke goes out. We get good damage rolls. They get bad scaling. 2/3 survival rate.
Well, now the fun part is trying to... Oop, there's a loose mummy pack. And you gotta survive because that red mage is the life caster. It's already dead. There's the sleep on your black belt.
Only way out is through. Oh, 2 tiles left to go, and Jesus the Frog takes a wipe, and it's crystal, so we don't even know if it's really necessary or not. So we gotta go back in and get it.
Until we know what's in Volcano, and at this point, Jesus has no idea, having not gone. We can metagame it, they can't.
Meanwhile, Celerio Rex finds the slab out of Volcano, so it can't be from Volcano, therefore, Ordeals is the path to Floater.
We don't get any of the extra docks, so it is Sky to get access to the bottle turn-in, the slab translated turn-in, everything else. And do you go after carry at this point if you're Celerio X? You're checking this box, doesn't see the X, do you think you're going to go for it, and do you go after carry if you're not?
How many nuke casts do I have? That's the real question. If I'm sitting on 2 or 3 charges still per mage, I think I go for it. Yeah, I think I go for it. I think I'm confident enough between that superpowered Mazda, and what we know to be a garbage spell and skill list out of carry. I think we go for it.
We see the warp, and yeah, Celerio Rex taking the dive. White Shirt also came out of the Volcano Armory, so Volcano Armory and Volcano Agama Floor have been effectively stacked with kit.
Jesus the Frog attempting to make it back out of the... There, we made it. Only a Black Mage to our name, but we made it. Jesus exits with the crystal. Hot diggity.
Meanwhile, Celerio Rex loses a Black Mage, but Masa and Fast, 680 damage, Carry not surviving. That is a Orblit. That's another 25% experience and gold bonus there, and 2 shards.
So Celerio is sitting on around 10 shards at the moment. Let me see if I can catch sight of where our other runners are in the shard hunt.
Jesus the Frog going to the river dock on the outside of the main continent to check out Matoya.
So
and
Celerio Rex. So Celerio Rex at 10, Jesus at 8. Waiting to catch sight of Space Drake and Soft. Oh, I missed Space Drake. Dang it.
Jesus momentarily gets on the boat. No, wait a second. I can go here by foot. And using the proximity check to res the party, as Celerio Rex, our second runner, dive ordeals as Space Drake on their way to Volcano.
Okay, Space Drake on 7 shards. Softnum on the way out of Volcano. Sitting at 9 shards. So Softnum with the carry takedown will be the current winner of our shard hunt race. Celerio Rex here at Ordeals finds the sorcerer tile, which is not what we want.
Gets the nukes out so it doesn't have to face the pain. We got a couple chests in Canaria Lock, so that will be their incentive item and 1 more shard. Now you've got the key. Not in a situation go to Northwest Castle again to check what those 2 trap tiles are, but might see the runners go that way because it's a very easy place to get to for a trap tile grind.
I will say we are 28 minutes in. We're definitely past the point of the feels good grind. We're now starting to enter the realm of the settle for grind.
Well, getting to a getting to a grind in general just got a lot easier because that is the floater coming out of Canaria, and that is the skyboat enabled. Jumps out of the water right into the sky.
We don't need no deserts. We just glue the floater to our boat. Is now airboat.
Our boat was actually not wind powered. Our boat was powered by the fire in the hearth, and we throw the big thing in the floater into it, and it starts to burn, and then it starts to float instead of just make smoke. And I don't know where this joke is going, but whatever. Jesus Frog picking up some pro rings and whatnot, and gets back to the airship. I would assume going to turn in the bottle, but doesn't have the bottle, didn't purchase it, so going to buy that.
Space Drake also acquiring the ribbon from Armory. Softnum probably acquired. Softnum's opening a lot of boxes. I have to assume they also acquired the ribbon. So right now, Jesus the Frog is the only runner on stream without ribbons, but that's because they're already in the air and have a massive exploration lead. And I think we're going... No, we're not going to Volcano. We're going to turn in Bottle.
I don't blame Jesus. I mean, you've got the incentive chain to turn in. This is likely going to turn into either the tail or the cube. I mean, it could also be a power bonk or defense sword. Either option would be nice. But I would hope to see the cube at this point, so you can just beeline all the Fiend dungeons.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if this is a play to rush Sky. Tail's not what Jesus wants. That's not... We don't want that.
That is the biggest womp item in the pool. Jesus going towards the Cardia Isles check, and we have Cardia Isles enabled. It is random like all the others, so it's not necessarily in this island, but there does seem to be a good number of shards. Plus, there's all dragon encounters in these boxes, so this is a good experience.
Zombie D, not great, but we'll take it. Frosty, better, still not great. Blue D would prefer not to deal with that because the health to experience ratio is just way out of whack with those. Red D, now we're talking, especially if we can land 4 of them. For Gas D, that's going to be the real diamond prize in any of these marked fights.
Especially if you can unload some Ice 3s or some nukes on them. There is the power bonk. You've got
fast, I'm okay with that.
Yep, you've got a low-level fast caster. You've got unlimited tempers on a stick, or bonk, as it were. Where does Jesus go from here? Doesn't have the slab because it didn't go to Volcano.
But we got a cube. Or no, we don't have a cube.
No, we don't have a cube. It gonna be a check on the counter tiles, or is it just gonna go to Mirage and check for chess? This is interesting. Well, as Jesus is in the Mirage Tower, we see Solaria Rex picking up the floater and Sofnum pulling up to carry down a red mage. And now down a black belt.
That's fine, we didn't need that. We got a Mazza, fast, 512. Question chat, where did the power bonk come from? That was the Cardia incentive. I look away for a minute, and bad things are happening. Sofnum does not make it through the carry fight.
Carry does carry things. Whoa. She's got many swords and swings them hard. Took out the black belt, or the thief, right after the black belt went down, then went straight for the red mage, as all it could do was try and nuke its way through.
We gotta go back in and get that slab, because that slab might be our loot. And that's a problem.
At this point, loot or cube. Jesus halfway through the shard incentive, already with 13. Doesn't even need to go into Sky if loot isn't there, so...
That might just be what this play was, because there are a lot of boxes in Mirage. This might have just been a play for easy shards, and hope that we just don't have to care about Sky incentive later.
There's the womp of the tail for Solario. The only runner on stream that may consider promoting at this point is Sofnum with the Thief, but you've got a Masa, so unless you really need like fire or ice armor or similar shield, you got the damn good weapon.
So we have a Thief that we could turn into a ninja with a katana, but then that frees up that Masa to sit in the hands of a black belt, and we have 2 fast casters. I see an easy future of double fast, double swing to really just kind of mash through some Topher Fiends. We don't need to get this black belt into orbit. We just need to get it good enough that it can really make good work of that Mazza on those Fiend 2 fights.
A single barrel chain gun is more than effective. You don't necessarily need a rotary autocannon as long as it's firing just enough shells to get the job done.
Don't understand. Need more power.
Solaria picking up some more shards, takes down a blue D chest as Sofnum is starting the chain O chest, or chain O pillars. Checks pillar 1. Unfortunately, we know it's pillar 4, so there's going to be a lot of warp charges if they go systematic one by one.
Jesus has cleared out Mirage. Did momentarily step up to 3rd floor, opened inventory, said oops, whoopsie doodle, and then warped out.
That is a value of having warp. You can get out, and Ankleo is doing bad things, takes out the black belt, but gets away, doesn't have life it looks like, so just gonna hop the airship, probably go to Crescent and revive?
Probably. I believe Jesus is now sitting at around 15 shards? Pretty respectable. No, we really want to know where this loot is.
I don't dislike this play. I mean, you can get your resurrection here, you can get the item because you have the key, you can dive in to see, you can also check out Mr. Robot's Ice Cave party. So,
I was gonna say we have the key, so we can just go and check all the mermaid boxes and get all the and then we can get 4 shards out of a Kraken fight, which the amount of horsepower that this party has, like fast nuke swing, nuke swing, nuke swing, nuke swing.
It is simple calculations. We see Solario going for Mr. Robot first, as Jesus is going right side C as ever, since we have random locked with the Mermaid Prison enabled. Our incentive item will be in TFC or in Mermaids. Not as deep as the other dungeons with the random incentive location, but it works.
It more than makes up for it because of just how much of the pain in the butt it is to get to on-rack. Like, I'm okay with it being basically like 2nd or 3rd floor, because just going here is effort.
There's that crystal out of sky, or out of ordeals for Sofnum. Not seeing really any X chests at this point. Carbonates bubbles, good man. Mermaid's not so dense with the value, but here's an X chest with a Gershark and Wizzahag. Not a big pack, should go down quick.
Meanwhile, up in Waterfall, we have located our loot. It is from the robot, and Solario is now sitting on 17 shards. Might just be a couple ahead of Jesus.
That was a defense sword. So now, this is solid proximity for both Solario Rex and Jesus. Jesus has the defense sword now. It is in C, can get more boxes and make their way to carry to get the kill. And Solario Rex, meanwhile, can follow that up, as Jesus will just go to Waterfall straight after this. I mean,
now Solario is in key item go mode. If you're Solario in this situation, do you hunt down the incentive that's over in Mermaid's side? Because remember, it's not in a marked box.
I would go Mermaid just for how many chests are there. Like, there's not much reason to not check Mermaids if you need shards at this point, especially since if you can get 6 or 7 shards and you know there's 4 shards waiting for you at the end of Kraken, that's dang near go right there.
I don't disagree with coming over here for shards, but it looks like Solario is checking... No, only checking the first 3. We're going to make some scattershot picks.
At this point, that means the defense sword will go a miss for Solario.
We don't need it. We got a black belt. We're fine.
Sofnum getting a slice out of Matoya as Jesus gets that loot. It'd be interesting if the devs could introduce an alternate music for getting the loot. Like, just a specific fanfare for the instrument.
That would be interesting. Maybe that's going to have to be one of the many features we postpone to #secret future development.
We can think of many things, but the Magic developers with the wonderful fingers and the skills and the brain thingamabobs that can do the things that I can only talk about doing, but they actually do, I mean, we thank them. Jesus heading out of on-rack, not going after carry. You can imagine gonna check things like Toph locked, maybe? Or Northwest Castle locked. Check those tiles, looking for that I need a grind.
Yeah.
Go for that grind set.
Very painful to leave without those free 4 shards, but we did do the Mirage dive, so we might not be terribly far off. What do we got over here? Galls? Nah.
They're high absorb and not as good an experience as one might hope. I mean, if they were all rock galls or iron goals, then that would be pretty dense, but a pack of them. And Argos, definitely no.
Okay, so Northwest, bummer. We still have Topher locked.
Solaria Rex, meanwhile, is down heading towards Kraken and does not bother raiding Sharknado floor at all. Checks the 4-pack room, sees no chests, and moves straight on for the 4 shards at the bottom.
I have lost count, but Solario sure hasn't. We must be sitting on 20 shards.
If not 20, then quite close. See Space Drake shuffling gear as Jesus goes ahead and checks Northwest, or Elfland is 1 row shy at 18 shards. Level 24 across the board for Solario. Well, that is 19 shards. So
it is 19 shards, yeah.
Needs 1 more shard after this fight.
Interesting.
Well, we've seen through Jesus the Frog's check of locks, there is a shard here, or 2 shards here in Dwarf locked. We have 1 shard in Elfland. So there are some fairly fast acquired shards. Bane strats for the win. Solario Rex going cheeky and gets those 4 shards in the Orblet.
We don't need no punch, we got Bane Stick.
Masa +4? Heck no, Bane. Just like that, Solario Rex in 1 shard to go.
Jesus needing 4 shards. Oh, Solario calling a shot and saying, "My last shard gon' be Topher locked."
Well, this ain't gonna be the grind set tile, and just leave saying, you know, I don't care about those top 2 boxes. I'll go elsewhere and find a grind tile and my shard. Meanwhile, Jesus checking all the left sides, having ignored them earlier in Topher. Gonna find 1 shard here, or in Toph. Noticing Solario left the Black Mage down, is checking for the grind to take the grind. Softenum carbonates bubbles, checks some boxes. As Jesus with 3 shards free literally just needs a kill on carry and 1 other, or a straight dive to Kraken, that would get Jesus in to go.
Solario might be settling on this Mudgall Rockgall tile. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm okay with this play. This seems like the thing that we have to live with.
I mean, take it until you run out of nuke casts. Cremate's a little spooky, but once you chop down the Rockgall, there's not as much worry against this, and you see that 9,000 experience across for that 4-pack, including the Rockgall. But there is your risk. And there is your solution. Life 4, or Life 2 in battle, full recovery.
Yeah, these things do hit kind of a little hard.
If you do take a grind at this point, would you stop at 32, or would you just say go to the moon?
No, if we find somewhere that's functional, like, just go to 42. Like, just do it. Solario back here. Now, for a group party grind, this Badman tile is perfectly functional. Well, the ambush is the big bummer, but, like, alright, the ambush is a massive bummer. Maybe we don't take this tile on the back of the ambush.
Honestly, at this point, I think Stelario's hoping that you can clear these out and get past it and see what the next tile is, but then you'd have to hopefully have your warp out to not have to take that encounter, and...
Where have we not been that's easy to get to that we could live with? I mean, no one's checked... Yeah, I was about to say, no one's checked the desert grind. I don't know how long the first run is.
It's pretty long for an overall grind. Honestly, diving...
No, we checked the TOF boxes. That was Cobra Scorpions, so that's out. Yeah, there's Mirage 3rd floor.
There's the Ordeals pillar room trap tile that no one checked.
That was checked by someone on stream. It's a sorcerer pack.
Oh yeah, no. There's nothing in Sky except for a guaranteed war mech and a Tia fight.
No, but there is a tile on Mirage 3.
Ooh, true. Top of Mirage.
Oh no, Celerio was... Yeah, we're heading back in. We're
gonna head to save with the shard they got and go up. Tile
of Destiny. The pre-space tile. Please fix all of our problems.
Be the Agma tile, or just be the eye tile. Be the multiple eye tile, and force Celerio to choose. Is it worth the risk? Jesus picking up that ribbon in the Agma floor, second ribbon in Earth or Volcano.
Gershark's Wizzahag, ship it. Don't even care, take it. We could certainly do worse.
It's a pack that you can one-shot the encounter, and it's I
misread that.
Shark.
It's Gershark Shark. Okay, less good, but perfectly grindable. There will always be at least one Gershark, just take it.
Sadly, we can't get Gershark Big Eye, but yeah, at this point, you're getting the levels. You're not even going to bother downing the Red Mage. You need the cast. You want that warp cast so you can get out of there ASAP. You need the life cast in case the sharks bite a bit too much. Softnum, meanwhile, clears up Kraken, gets 4 shards, and gets out. Gonna go talk to the robot to get that instrument. Still hasn't turned in the has to have turned in the crystal, has the key. That's how they were able to get through mermaids, so will be an item go mode.
Jesus now in full total go mode, doing some party rearranging and heading back inside. Is there a tile we've decided we want? Oh, we're gonna take the sentry fight. Very spicy. But I think by the time we got here, I think we'll be able to deal with it with this Maza swinging black belt.
Not a poor option, because it's like 2 or 3 per encounter max. You don't see a large number, so it makes it easier to deal with as far as a solo swinging or punching character. Already going fist. Nope, no, just 4 hits on the Masa.
Okay. That's not awful.
That's a better instance.
Get us there.
That's spooky. That was 160 plus damage done. But it's survivable, and still 2 hits to take down the sentry. Here's the issue, because we have the guards with lit, and that lit does a lot of damage. I don't think we have it, but we might have the improved elemental damage, where level 1 magic does level 3 damage. If that's the case, then that lit is doing level 3 lit magic per single target.
In fact, we do have the improve Fire, Lightning, Ice Arm spells on.
And that was a stun off of the robots. That's... wipes out Jesus' grind. Slayer Rex up at Topher, sees the Topher map derp. God loves some map derp. Goes in, pops the loot plate, and we are into Topher on stream at just around 5140. 5140, 5150, thereabouts. Either way, we're going mid Topher, so we're straight on the Lich's floor, cutting the corners. Lich goes for stun touch, not nuke, gets cut, gets punched, and there goes the purple doormat. Few potions up. Here comes carry 2. Punch fast comes out, but it comes out after the punch. 7 hits and no fast cast. 3 hits on the Masa, does about 300 damage. 800 hits with the punch cannon, gets the job done. Level 33 on the black belt, not going to the moon because you've got the 2 other party members. Just wants to get it through. As we said, these fiends are not rolled up heavily with these flags. Their real scariness is the fact that we know they have their vanilla scripts, so come chaos, we'll have all of the elemental skills, we'll have Cure 4. It's gonna be spooky. Interesting, you got the white shirt and the black, or the power bonk on the black belt.
I usually like splitting up defense holder and white shirt holder. Usually if I'm going evasion, I'm wanting to focus it on a single target, like that first slot black belt. Interesting to know what the idea behind that is.
And it's not working. Invis is not ruse. There goes the black belt and the black mage. The life 2 comes out first, but is immediately downed. It's unfortunate these fiends and the enemies have the chance to hit party members who aren't awake. And that dark just landed. We have improved dark, so that's 8 hits down is to miss. And there's no Cure 4 on that red mage or A-Lit.
Boy, we are just playing ping pong with this poor black belt. Ooh, and the melee from Kraken 2 makes it in before the life spell.
And our first redive at 54:45. As Softum takes out Carry, gets those 2 shards, and I believe Softum, 2 shards away. Has dealt with all the fiends available though, so Softum needs to think, where do I go get those 2 shards? I don't have the cube yet. Does think ice play. I'm not.
Oh man.
I'm not sad to see this, but this is a spooky, spooky play. Solario Rex got hit so hard by Kraken, they forgot that there's a shortcut. Or was just looking for a walking grind, finding some Agamas, but doesn't choose to take it.
There are no misplays, there is only elaborate RNG manipulation.
Hey, we don't have set RNG, so every step makes a difference. Fast comes out on the black belt, the moss gets swung, we're going to see swing, swing, and Rub doesn't get the kill done, punches get the job done though, 15 hits, 770, bye-bye carry 2.
Meanwhile, Jesus has also landed on the last-ditch Hail Mary, this is what we're doing, I guess, Sentry Guard grind. Softnum, we're still hoping.
Did find a grindable tile. I mean, that was the double Gershark, double Big Eye tile. Unfortunately, it's not on this tile, which would have been a safe off-tile encounter tile. But
Yeah,
this
safety
isn't
is
a grind
paramount.
search. This is a 2 shards to go search more than anything for Sofnum. And
Oh.
Jesus getting out of there with the level is going to save and either leave or redive. Two Krakens on screen. Space Drake trying to get the 4 shards in the orb for taking out Kraken 1. As Kraken 2 tries to ink the party on Solario Rex's side, does not get darked on the black belt this time. Also still has all 3 party members up. At some point, the punches need to come. Here they come. Fasted, 9 hits, 815 gets the job done. 2 Krakens down on stream. Tia, our first encounter with the Sky Dragon, will be Tia 2 for Solario Rex. Sadly, no Mr. Robot. And there is the second shard Sofnum needed. So Ice Dive paying off with the required shards, but it was a bit of a slog getting through.
Meanwhile, Solario survived a sorcerer encounter on the Tia floor. Oh, I get so nervous on this floor.
That would have just been sour moment.
Fast
Do we
goes
get a
off.
Brack?
We tried. White shirt goes off. Let's try and protect everybody. Incoming Bane takes out the Black Mage. I'm gonna go for
Not
damage.
going to resurrect it, yeah.
We're gonna hang on to our life 2s for Chaos because they're probably gonna come in handy. Mazza Swing, sub 100. We're still going with this white shirt. We want to make sure that both of these characters survive any melee if it comes our way. The elemental spells aren't going to do much because these are our 2 ribbon characters. The white shirts continue. Let's try offense. 10 hits, 852. Tia is still there. 4 hits, 253. Tia is still there. We're aiming for around 1600 health, and that punch gets us there. We are now on our way to the Chaos floor.
Yep, a few steps separating Solario Rex from safety into the final encounter. Meanwhile, Space Drake, our second runner on stream, or third runner I should say, making into Topher as Jesus pulls up to Lich 2.
Shouts to Sofnum with the high definition 8-bit stake.
Gotta love that marbling. Interesting, Space Drake warping out, gonna save and either dive in for a grind, or it's just gonna save in and play off the hard reset. Confused there, but otherwise, Solario Rex pulling up into Chaos, gets some damage out.
That was a
Nuke
178
white shirt
punch.
swing.
Here comes Crack. It takes out the unribbon character, but this was expected. White shirt is going to keep doing evasion things. 13 hits, 570. That's closer to damage, but we want more. Let's try that again. 10 hits, 365. That's lots of hits, but not quite the damage that we were looking for. The absorb on this Chaos is unfortunate. 15 hits, 761. Progress is being made. We're just going to hold a 14 hits, 700. It's a race between us and the Cure 4. We make it, 456. Down goes Chaos. Solario Rex first on stream with an official race time, GG time, for 1 hour, 21 seconds. That is good enough for 4th place overall. Finishing behind in first place, F. Coughlin, 5609. Second place, Rubes at 5615. Third place, Pickles and Beer, 5637. And then Solario.
Those have been there have been some incredibly close finishes, but seeing that 6-second difference between our first and second, and only another 12 for our third. Sometimes you wish we could restream all of them, but I mean, we do currently have 15 runners in this race. Shoutouts to all of our other runners not on stream.
Jesus the Frog on the Chaos Fight. We did our fast. We're going in for Ponge. 9 hits, 770. Seems good. Mazza Swing, 4 hits, 89. That's about what we've come to expect from the Mazza Swing on this Chaos Fight. 5 hits, 247. Okay. 13 hits, 1280. Down goes Chaos. Jesus the Frog finishing at 101.38. Good enough for 6th. Coming in prior to that in 5th place, Budgemino, 1 hour, 43 seconds. GG. And I just heard the ding go off.
That is Celerio Rex joining us in the booth. GG's Celerio.
Thank you. Hello.
Oh, wow. So, how was that?
Well, you know when you get like super stubborn and you just stick to doing a thing, like leaving a white shirt on a black belt, and you just keep doing that, and you know it's wrong, but you just keep doing it because you're too stubborn to change course until maybe chaos. And that you realize like 5 minutes after you do something that maybe just hitting the punch button over and over again was the answer to all of your problems.
Yep.
That's what that felt like to me.
So, what I'm hearing is white magic's for quitters, and the answer was to apply more power.
Yeah, it was. You can't argue with that. It was just speed and power was the answer.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right.
Meanwhile, we are also
Glad I could
joined
clear
by
that up.
Jesus on stream. GG's Jesus.
GG.
GG's, man.
GG, Celerio.
So what did you guys think of this black belt red mage start?
Not a fan. Spent the first few towns looking for a fighter so I could down the black belt and swap to a fighter carry. But I did not find one, so I figured with the Masa, I'll just go for it.
I think the only melee character we spotted on stream was a thief at Elfland, which Softnum is currently rocking.
Interesting. Yeah, I was a little tempted just to say, hey, I've got a party of 27, level 27 across the board. Maybe we just leave the Masa in the hands of the black belt and see how roll those dice.
Yeah, I thought of that. I was like level 23, and I'm like, I could do this, but he's got about 500 HP maximum and no armor, so I'm just gonna get like punched by Kraken and completely destroyed. I'll just take a grind. I consider going only to like 34 with 8 hits, but then I'm here. I might as well spend an extra 2 minutes and then just walk through a Topher with no trouble. The last thing I want is to wipe out a Topher at an hour flat or something, and then have to redive it because I didn't spend 2 minutes getting to 42.
Oh, see, I feel like I went on like a 10-minute worldwide tour looking for maybe a place that might be a decent grind and ended up just crapping out and doing some sharks for a little bit and then was like, all right, 32 is good enough. Let's roll these dice.
Yeah, if I had sharks, maybe I'd stop at like 34, but I did get a sentry guard tile in Volcano. I didn't look for a grind, but when I got my last shard, that tile was nearby, so I'm like, well, it's 10,000 per battle. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was probably the best option available to us based on what I hunted down, and I think I stopped by everything easy, except I never did make it through the bad men to find out what the second tile was on first floor of Earth there.
I believe someone did make it through the bad men, and we weren't missing anything behind that.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a lot better. So even if that's a complete lie on your part, I appreciate it.
No, I'm pretty sure someone on stream saw it, but I don't remember who.
Pretty much the best.
Oh, go ahead.
So pretty much the best tile that I saw that would be like, oh, that's a juiciest grind was the Gershark Big Eye tile. Unfortunately, that was the secondary, like ice tile on the primary drop down floor. Also known as not somewhere you want to grind.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
I will say the sentry grind was not good. I actually wiped at like level 29 and lost like 2.5 minutes of my first grind. So it's not a good grind. I can't recommend it.
Yeah, I had that. I had the I thought about going back, but I was like, those guys can be dicks.
Yeah, it was
So
fine.
I
They
was-
put me to sleep and then just punched me 4 times.
See, yeah, they instilled the fear in me the first time through the volcano, and I decided not to go back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
fair.
improved lit level 1 magic, so it was single target lit 3. Definitely lit up one of your characters.
It was like 50, 60 a shot, which is not too bad. The problem really was essentially punching for like 120.
Yeah, there's just that part of me that's like, man, if this was like a fighter seed, this feels like we'd have like sub 50-minute finishes here or something.
Oh yeah, if I had a fighter instead of a black belt, then when I got my last shard like 51 minutes maybe, straight I'm done. I had a slow seed pretty much, but couldn't find the last like 5 shards for anything. But yeah, I wouldn't have to take a grind, wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I ran it down and did a quick check of C and just took out Kraken at the end. That's where I got my last shards, which felt dirty, but then based on like shard, there must have been a bunch in like Sky or something, because I feel like there were not a ton scattered into like the lock chests or anything like that.
Yeah, the only places I didn't really check were Sky, Sharknado, and of course Ice and Marsh.
Yeah, no one saw Sky on stream at least. It looks like the slab turned into the cube. And Ice, I think, entirely had 2 shards.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's true. I did go to Mirage. I didn't go to Sky. I went to Mirage, and there were.
Yeah,
4
I went to
shards.
Mirage. And I walked up to almost to the cube block before I remembered I didn't have cube. I had to warp out of there. But I was really just digging for a ribbon at that point. I wanted some shards, and I really, really wanted a ribbon. Because I wasn't sure I was going to grind.
That trap tile where the cube is necessary is sharks, just so you know. That's where
I should have walked a little further. Could have had a better grind.
As far as the ribbons, we actually found 2 ribbons, both in Volcano. Volcano Armory's like niche chest, trap chest, and then in the first room in Agama floor. So
Yeah, once I found the ribbon, I just stopped opening chests at that point.
So we're doing a quick heal, and Softnum is about to take on the Chaos fight. Let's see if Softnum can be our 3rd runner through as Space Drake closes in. Here we go. This is the double melee, double fast party. What's our turn 1 gonna be? Evasion. White shirt being prepared. Fast on the thief. Thief going to swing. And our second caster going to fast the black belt. Test swing out of the Maza for, I think that was 700 damage.
714,
White shirt
yeah.
goes off. Continuing evasion strats from the black belt as the mages shift over to Nuke. Ice 3 takes out our leading black belt. Nuke goes off. 145, Nuke goes off. 148, Maza, this is what's going to help us. No, it's not. 256. We're around a third of the way through Chaos's health right now, but Chaos is doing more damage to us than we's doing to them. Nuke goes out, 278. Here comes Lightning 3. We're down another character. Maza, help us. 227. That's not help. Heal 3. Let's try and repair some of this damage a little bit. Right now, we're trying to outrun the inevitable Cure 4 that we know is on the horizon. Let's try Fade. Maza, 415. Alright. We dodge the crack. Fade goes out for 134. Incoming melee takes out that caster. It's now just Thief versus Chaos. 629, we find the damage button, and down goes Chaos. Softnum, 3rd place on stream, 10th overall. Official time 1:10:17. Finishing in 7th was Flurry with 103.20, Sorbius 105.47, and Clementidis 107.18. GG.
And we are welcomed in the booth. Sofnum. GG's.
Hello, GG's.
GG's, man.
So, was Ice fun?
No, Ice was terrible. I did not enjoy my time in Ice. I was hoping to find, I guess shards I wanted, but man, I had to clear the whole thing out.
What were your thoughts picking up that?
I didn't enjoy my time in Volcano either. The whole subcontinent there was terrible.
Did you enjoy your time anywhere in the seed?
Honoract Hub treated me okay.
I mean, Dancing
I don't
on
know.
Chaos's Grave probably felt good in the end.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, like, finding the Masa early is what made me take the Thief, because I knew I wanted another melee. I was hoping for a fighter, but, I mean, I'm like, oh, a Thief, and I can run from things, and I've got a Masa, and I don't even need to promote. This is great, so.
The plus 20 strength on that Thief definitely made that a much more doable choice.
Yeah, it was fine. You know, I got lucky. I admit it, but you know, sometimes it's what needs to happen. So it looks like nobody got into Sky.
Yeah, nope.
No.
Our process of eliminations, that's the slab turns into the cube, which then gives you the X-Cal. So Sky was completely irrelevant.
Awesome. Where was the power bonk?
Cardia Forest over way on the
Cardia.
left-hand side.
All right.
Yeah, I ended up getting the white shirt, the defense, and the power bonk, and didn't use any of them at all.
I would have used a power bonk if I had had it. And what is going on? My cats are fighting. It's great. I would have used a
Cats
power bonk
do.
if I found it, but
They have aggressive opinions regarding your run.
I guess.
The use of equipment such as the power bonk, the white shirt, the defense sword versus the use of attack, it seems that attack was the most relevant thing from thus what has been seen on stream.
It's hard to argue with 20 hits.
That early fast, like level 2 fast, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. You see
Where was
Space Drake
Temper?
is
Was it,
through and
like,
finds the
level 20?
Sorcerer pack, which is spooky.
Never
Like,
saw
there
Temper.
goes your life caster, spooky.
No, that was the black belt. We're fine.
Oh.
Oh, that's okay.
Safely to the chaos. After did Space Drake do a bit of a grind? I cannot recall.
Not terribly much, because that
No,
black belt's sub
not at all.
500.
So what parties did everyone go with?
Everyone went with the same party minus Softum, who picked up the thief. At least
Okay,
on stream.
Interesting.
So it looks like we're going to fast a red mage with a Maza, we're going to fast a black belt, and we're going to see what double melee can do. The fasts go off. Opening crack, misses everybody. Test punch, 10 hits, 339. That's with Maza backup, I think we're in business. Double swing, followed by a temper onto the black belt. Most hits, most bang for the buck. Ice 3 doing a number on the party. 6 hits, 6 damage. Thanks, black belt. 6 hits, 259. Thanks, Maza. Temper goes off, but now we need some healing. Let's see if the heal 3 can get there. The heal 3 does get there. Let's see if the temper can get there. Oh, no. We lose the temper due to an untimely lightning 3. We're now on melee strat. 7 hits, 83. This is not super. Heal 3 goes off. We get a little bit of restoration. 4 hits, 91. Slow 2 misses the red mage. 9 hits, 343. We are approaching that there Cure 4. Inferno comes out first, but both characters survive. 11 hits, 750. That is a number that we needed to see. Let's see if we can fish out another one of those. Oh, the Cure 4 arrives. Reset to start. We are looking to deal 3,000 damage. Get your abacuses out now. 704 from the black belt. 14 from the red mage. Swirl takes us down to just the black belt. 8 hits, 88. I don't know that we're going to make it the distance on this one. Melee takes down Space Drake. And that results... No, Space Drake is still going.
Dedication to the play if Space Drake is still in it.
Way to hang
Yep.
in there.
Going to search for a grind, it seems. We saw a few people check, or at least one person check the overworld grind options, but that early encounter was pretty dang deep, so.
They were all gross. I tried to find some, but they were just all gross.
A single sandworm on the hard reset just north of the desert was the best thing we saw as far as that search went. Strake doing some searching for gear, it looks like. Houses to support a grind.
You want a lot of houses, and I think 10 houses. We might be headed to desert, or we might... where are we going? An interesting question.
This is a conundrum.
We're preparing for something. Looks like
Geopods.
a Topher
Topher
grind, perhaps. Given the dire state of the tiles, I don't entirely hate this.
Yeah, there's a pack of metal slimes that we've already seen on this floor once. I mean, if you can get a 6 or 7 pack of metal slimes on the first strike, this is a hard reset metal slime grind.
I don't know that we're necessarily going to hard reset into the metal slime specifically. The beauty of first floor Topher is there's no real whammy encounters on this floor, but there's nothing that's like top tier either.
With the modifications to this map, we don't get the 4-pack of Gastias, unfortunately. But some worms and some metal slimes, that's definitely going to add up to experience. Looks like it's going to be metal slimes and worms, wash, rinse, and repeat.
I wonder if we saw...
Oh, that's not a hard reset. That's a soft reset. That's another encounter.
We might be testing the waters regarding dangerous skills. Because without an ice dive, it's real hard to know if frosties have anything. Without a sky dive, it's real hard to know if chimeras have anything. Or if metal slimes have anything. So that might have just been a precautionary kind of just in case.
Plus, if you can get deeper into the encounter table, you'll get faster encounters. There's a set number of encounters spread across a set number of steps, and if you've got a long run between 1 or 2 encounters early on, that means you've got a much shorter run between the next 6 or however many there are after.
That was another soft reset going back in. I'm pretty sure it was a soft reset.
That
might have been a hard
is the metal
reset.
slimes. So metal slime, worm, chimera, ice dragon. That's what we've got so far.
Not terrible, honestly.
Compared to the grinds that we've seen from the other runners using, it's definitely not bad. And okay, so this is going to be just focus on the metal slimes, it seems. If you're going to pack grind a 6-pack of metal slimes on repeat, if it takes like 10 seconds to cycle between, isn't the worst. It would be so much nicer if exit was available at any level below 6.
We don't need no exit. We got warp. It's the exit that builds character.
It's just helping you with your menuing skills.
Speaking of menuing, for anyone who hasn't played Final Fantasy 1 with the randomizer enabled, there are a lot of creature comfort features that have been added to this. One primary thing is auto-sorted item selection. So things like your heal pots, your pures, your softs, everything gets sorted into a logical location. That's not something you normally get in the original game. You would have to figure out how things fell in your inventory at random. Plus, we already saw them purchasing heal pots and houses. The idea of saying, I want to buy X number of items? Yeah, no. For everyone who ran this game or played this game originally or in vanilla form, you had to buy each item in each interaction over and over.
For me,
in fact, one of the most recent flags added was the ability to only buy up to the amount you could actually buy.
For me, I'm the biggest fan of the spell fixes. Making temper and lock work, like, oh, so good, so good.
Making the elemental things actually work is very key.
I am very much looking forward to the experimentations and the developers actively re-enabling the stat which is otherwise not used in the game. Because yes, there is an intelligence stat in the code of the vanilla game, it literally did nothing.
Yeah, it's not like most of the other bugs where you can kind of see what they intended and it just looks at the wrong memory addition. It doesn't do anything.
There's just nothing.
Nothing points to it. It just is worthless. So
there are prototypes in the works, as far as I know, where intelligence affects the damage output of magic, which that definitely throws a huge curve in the road. I'd say monkey wrench in the system, but then no, that's just a divergence from the usual. A curveball. Throws a curveball. There we go. That's the one I was going for.
Throws a big old wooden shoe in the gears.
And Space Strike, after doing that Topher grind, has decided to dive in and chance the fiends.
Question in chat, how does magic scale then? That's the neat part. It doesn't. Currently, without the intelligence experimental patches, basically how magic functions is it has a chance to hit. If you roll and it doesn't hit, it will do its base damage. So I'll use nuke because it's the easiest numbers. So base nuke damage is 100 to 200. If that chance to hit actually makes it past the enemy MDef, then that damage will double. So instead of 100 to 200, we're now looking at 200 to 400. If the enemy resists it, it absolutely guts the accuracy of that to hit roll, reduces it by something like 148 or something absolutely insane. Out of a 200 MDef table, minus 148 is just nuts. At that point, your base damage is now earned. So your base damage would be 50 to 100. If somehow you still roll the, for lack of a better term, nat 20 and still get the hit on through, then you only go back up to regular damage. If an enemy is vulnerable to something, then I believe you get a 50% damage boost on the damage. That's how Ice 3 gets to 420 versus stuff that's weak to ice. And also, things that are weak to ice have 40 less MDef than they otherwise would. Insta-kill spells is just straight up, it's a resistance check. Did you do the thing? If yes, yay. If not, boo.
And you wonder why Nasir didn't even bother to enable intelligence. The system's already crazy enough as is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the time crunch associated with the developing the game's everything.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the difference between Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2 as far as the sheer volume of content versus the underpinnings of the engine, and it's like, this was the beta, and even then, this was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the time, this is an amazing system. Are there some kind of rickety bits? Sure. But, like, considering this was largely one guy that did it, like, incredible game. Incredible game.
And at least unlike Final Fantasy 2, everyone doesn't die. For anyone who hasn't played through that game or seen a speedrun, that game is known for any character that's not in your party, and maybe a character or two that's in your party, passing for one reason or another.
I mean, most of my characters in Final Fantasy 1 die, but that's because I don't need no white magic.
Choices versus scripted. It's the difference. Space Drake, meanwhile, is onto Tia's floor, healing up the Black Mage. Kumo, you know, we all know, what is meant by the absence of white. There is no light,
How
there's
else
only
are you
the
gonna
absence
cast
of
lamp?
darkness.
I mean, like,
Knight, level 2.
all right. Or in these flags, you're ninja, but yes.
Correct. In these flags, you're ninja.
Yes, we have a flag that we did not see this time around. That is the white ninja and the black knight, where the level, the magic that would be normally learned by the black mage or by the ninja, the black magic, is learnable by the knight and vice versa. So that can make a difference. If you suddenly find your knight, instead of having that cheeky life, has that amazing fast for itself, or your dodgy ninja suddenly has resurrection abilities.
Alright, Space Drake, I believe in you. Let's see if we can make it through this fight. Right after we fire hose our black belt with heal pots.
I just imagine one of those animations just throwing windmilling heal pots at the character.
It's like Gatorading the coach at the end of the game, except we do it at the start of the game. Punch goes out first, 4 hits 250. Before fast and temper, like, that's an acceptable number. We'll take it. Crack comes out, doesn't do anything, fast goes off. So initial buffs are good. Tempers will continue. Accuracy hasn't been our problem, so temper over lock 2 is good. We're gonna go with fades. Incoming melee, Black Mage is still upright. Fade goes out for 228. Punch! 9 hits, 1,154. This is better. Those are numbers. This is how we do it. What are we looking at? More temper? Yeah, the numbers can always go higher. And a little bit of heal 3 for safety. Outgoing punch. 9 hits, 438. Yeah, we need those numbers to go higher. Heal 3 goes off. Incoming ice 3. Does kind of a number to that black belt, but otherwise we're fine. Temper going off. Or temper being 11 hits, 1185. We don't need more temper. Punch gets us there. That is Space Drake across the line. 1 hour, 30 minutes, 40 seconds. Between there and Softnum, we did have Yakko Wacko finishing in 10th place with 127.07. And along the way, we had some forfeits. Woobear, Scarcerer, Sorbius, and Windfox have unfortunately forfeit. GG to all our runners.
Tells you just how this race could be when the runners as well-known community as Woobear just deciding, nope, not today.
Mm-hmm. See if we can get Space Drake in here for an interview. Space Drake is on the way. Un momento.
So, how many more qualifying races do we have before things start up for our brackets?
We have one more qualifying race later this week. Let me look.
Thursday at 7.
Thursday at 7, thank you. And we also have one more async that is currently in progress. And that ding, I believe, means we are joined in the booth by Space Drake.
Yes,
GG.
you are. And just let me make the White Mage dead emote over and over. I thought I was doing so well, and then I was like, my black belt's a little bit low, but I'm pretty confident I can do this. It was misplaced confidence.
Yeah, the 150% health and the only goes up stats on these Stover Fiends, they'll get you.
Yes, they will. That was otherwise a really good seed, though. That's right up until Topher. That was one of the better runs I've had.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Question: you started out with black belt, red, black. Was there a fourth character you were hoping for, or had you always settled on 3-man for that?
It depended on what the magic was going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a somewhat earlier fade, really early exit, I was planning on trying to pick up a white mage.
Mm-hmm.
But I found the white mage fairly early, and I was like, yeah, like if that had shaken out, we were gonna go for that. But as the way the magic shook out with like the pretty early nuke and the otherwise good utility spells in the first four spell levels, I was like, oh, okay, no, we don't have any cure 4, but we have heal 3 way there at level 1. We're just going to roll deep with a red-black combo and just destroy everything up to the very end, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll just roll that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with the way the initial party setup goes, I feel like a lot of what you're going to end up doing for most of this seed depends on the spells that you find, especially in Provoca and Canaria.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's no good magic in either of those, and Elfland also looks kind of rough, then that makes for a much slower, much more interesting seed.
Mm-hmm. I got my questions out of the way. Fabian Hawk, do you have any questions?
Honestly, not many. We've seen you picking up that grind in Topher. What was your thoughts? Were you thinking, I'm going to find the deep pocket, or were you just mapping out, is it worth going deeper, or just stick with those early 2 encounters?
Well, once I saw that the especially like the early slimes were in there, I was just like, all right, no, that is potentially a absolutely massive EXP pack, and I know I can just nuke it down, and I have a ton. I thought I had a reasonable number of houses for that, so I'll just go to 26 and then, take it all the way to chaos. And when I got bounced out, I was like, well, I probably should have gone back for some houses earlier and taken it all the way to the initial BB breakpoint at 32. I really feel like that's the one that cost me the race that badly.
Well, you stuck it out and you got the job done, so huge credit to you.
Yeah. Hopefully, my last two qualifiers, including the async, go a little better than that.
Well, I'll definitely be rooting for you, but let's go ahead and move this on now to final thoughts.
Neat.
GG's to Solario, who was first on stream. They had to dip out. Jesus, second on stream. Final thoughts.
Oh, just fun as always. Like doing these qualifiers. It's just a good time to do a big race. Bunch of people. So thanks to everyone for putting it on.
Softnum, third on stream. Final thoughts.
Just thank you for the whole race crew for putting on the show, and can't wait for the round of 64.
And then fourth place on stream, first place in our hearts, Space Drake. Final thoughts.
Thank you again to the entire race crew for putting the winter tournament on. Once again, I know it's a lot of work to organize these, and I'm looking forward to the round of 64.
Makocoms, Thavian, final thoughts.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to our restreamer / tracker Mecklin and Kumo handling tracker duties as well. Huge shout out to RGVG Limit Break for hosting this event and several races before and going forwards. Would you like to chat us out, Lord Fizzlebeef?
I will. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and join the Discord. We have the mighty winter tournament now on the horizon, and if you'd like to volunteer, if you think you've got the gift of the gab or like pushing the blinky buttons, we are always in search of new volunteers for Race Crew. Go ahead and jump in our scheduling volunteering channel. We'll train you, we'll get you up to speed. It is a community effort, and we thank anyone for volunteering who wishes to. Coming up Thursday at 7 will be the next qualifier, and until then, for everybody here at the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.